Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and attention coach, Jeff Copper. Today I'm here to talk to you about alarms, reminders, probably other words I'm forgetting right now. But the notion of that you're becoming desensitized to alarms, triggers, and reminders. Here's the thing. Externalizing things is real important for those with ADHD because we have self-regulation issue and tax working memory. So it's really good to externalize those things, and reminders are good in theory until you have too many of them. So a reminder, hey, I need to do this. Great. Just in time. I remember to do this when I'm walking out the door to take this into work. That's really, really good. But when you have a reminder of everything that has to get done in a day and it's going left and right, particularly maybe you're in a project and you're focusing in on it and you don't want to stop what you're doing because you're on a roll. And reminders come up and they start popping up all over the place and you start hitting snooze, realize over a long period of time that, or not even a long period of time, you become desensitized to it because there's too many. This is a real challenge for people with ADHD. You need the reminders, but too many and they don't work at all. It's difficult. It's kind of like driving down the road. Go a little too far to the right, you're off the road. Go too far to the left, you're off the road. You got to kind of keep it in the middle. This is a bit of a dilemma because all of you want tips, tricks, and strategies from me on this. And the problem with it is there's not any. It's a mindset. It really depends on the individual. But really what I wanted to do with this video is bring some awareness to the fact that having things out are good, but having too many out gets to the point in time where none of them work. There are some general ideas that I do when I'm working with people, and that is sometimes you compartmentalize some of those. So you put them together and say, oh, these reminders go stuffed in this particular area. Or I've had people that have visual reminders of things to do, and we put curtains over them. We open them up at different times so that we say, listen, there's all these things that you have to do, but you open the curtain, I've got an hour, I can only do one or two of these, etc. But how you solve this problem is as individual as you and a snowflake. But what I really want to get to is that those with ADHD become overwhelmed with all the reminders that they have. You become desensitized and none of them work. I am having aha. If you have so many of those, one of the best things to do in your world is actually kind of minimize and simplify your life, because the less reminders that you have, the less that you're overwhelmed with them all. So anyway, actually, one other thought too. It's really, really important because it's really easy for you to come up with an idea and say, I'll just remind myself to do that over a period of time, and not really thinking that that reminder sounds like it would be a really good idea, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to pay attention to it because it's just going to be a little bit too much. So anyway, my apologies for not being able to walk in and say, this is what you should and shouldn't do, but I've been coaching this for a long time and there's no pat answer that works for everybody. However, the awareness is that reminders are important to you, but too many of those reminders will get in the way, which I'm having another aha, forgive me, is a lot of times people with ADHD, they have a lot of stuff on their desk because they're visual reminders of things that they need to get done. If there's just one or two things, it's relatively easy. When there's too many things, they're overwhelming. They can't see anything at all. Sometimes there's a little bit of a prioritization by walking and taking a look. This isn't going to happen, and remove them from the pile. Again, you're going to have to problem solve this on your own. Get a coach to help you out a little bit because you're all different. Your minds work a little bit distant. Your systems work a little bit different. But anyway, again, hope this is giving you some insight so that you begin to think, how do I limit the reminders and keep the important ones there so that the ones that I have are actually effective, as opposed to having none that doesn't work, or having too many where you don't watch any of them. There's an art to this. Hope this is giving you some insight. Please, if you're new, subscribe, hit our subscribe button to follow our stuff. We release new tips each week. Hope you've enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk Video. Take care.